Hi. Okay, so basically, I'm gonna start doing like little reading segments where I can keep up with my reading stuff because I know that eventually I'm gonna want to go back and think about all the books that I've read. And I feel like it's no better way to do that than to start a booktube channel. So this is me, Lulu Trojan, aka Grayson. Okay, reason I chose Lulu Trojan is because I feel very this isn't Lulu, but I love to wear Lulu, simply. Honestly, there's no other reason. And I'm going to be a Trojan in the fall. So, Lulu Trojan. Thank you. Firstly, we're going to talk about some of the books that I've recently read. So, really recently, like during the school year, I read this book called The Little Friend by Donna Tartt. And I read this book because my speech teacher recommended it to me. And it is a Bildungsroman, I think is the word, where it's a coming of age book. And basically, it's about this little girl named Harriet, and she lives in Mississippi, and her little brother died. And the whole book is about like her growing up, and the subplot is she's trying to find the killer of her brother because she thinks that this person killed her brother. So it's a crazy ride. I definitely recommend that book. I gave it, as honestly, probably a solid 4.5 to 5 stars. Like, it was a really good book. Okay, so next, I read this book called Go the Distance, and this is by Jen Kalanita. Yeah, by Go the Distance by Jen Kalanita. So this book, I'm just gonna kind of read you the back. Basically, this is in a series called the Twisted Tale series where they like do Disney books, but like there's a twist. Like there's one about Aladdin where Jafar got the lamp instead, and like it goes from there. Another one that I have on my list is this one called Unbirthday, and this one says, what if Wonderland was in peril and Alice was late? But the one I just read says, what if Meg had to become a Greek god? And it was basically, honestly, it felt like a really twisted way of like bringing up feminism and like not needing a man, but also learning that like you do need a man. Like I thought Megara was gonna be the ultimate like, I don't need a man, like I'm doing this quest for myself. But it ended up being she did the quest because she was in love with Hercules and she wanted to live with him forever. So I think on Goodreads, shout out Goodreads, I gave this a solid 3 stars. So let's talk about what I'm currently reading. So I've told you about 2 books that I read. I'm going to tell you about what I am reading, and then I'm going to give you 4 books that I plan on reading. You've already seen one of them. Currently, I am reading Cleopatra and Frankenstein by Coco Melors. I don't know if I'm saying her name right, but this book, y'all, it's like, it's just so, I feel so chic when I read it. Like this book, I'm about halfway done, as you can see. But this book is so good. I'll give you a short little synopsis. Basically, it's about this girl who lived in England and she ran away to New York to get her master's degree. But her green card ran out, I think, and so she meets this guy named Frank right before she runs out of time, and they end up spontaneously getting married and to like renew her green card or whatever, and it's just showing their relationship. But it's weird because they have an age gap, and I don't know how I feel about that. She's 24 and he's 44. Yeah, but it also is so good. I'm gonna give like a book review fully about all this when I finish, but it really is about like different perspectives, and so far there's been talks about gender, body positivity, addiction, affairs, financial situations. So it's very good. Coco Melors, you're a genius, and I am so excited. I think I'm gonna like the rest of it. It's been good so far. I'm 210 pages in, and it's 300 and 360. Oh, I did not know it was this long. 368. So, yeah, I have a little over 100 pages left, like 150. So yeah, review coming for this bad boy. Books. You've already seen this one, Unbirthday, the one about Alice in Wonderland. Basically, Alice gets visions, or no, she sees photographs, I'm pretty sure, about like the people from Wonderland. This is not really high on the TBR, so don't put too much stock into that. I'm gonna save what I'm reading, I think, very, very next for last. So, another book that I really want to read soon. Everyone has read this book, bro, except for me. Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. Everyone has read this book. I read the Grishaverse trilogy, Shadow and Bone trilogy a long time ago. Like, I'm talking maybe 7th, 8th grade. And I am now I'm about to be a junior in college. So I just really think that it's time for me to read another Leigh Bardugo book. I just don't know if I am ready, because I don't want to read it and hate it, and this is so long, like genuinely, and I just don't know if I'm ready. It's 462 pages, and the pages are thick, but yeah, I think this could be an easy read of something to read in the near future. So I really do want to read this next. I have a lot of books on my shelf, but when I go to college, obviously I can't take that many. And I have a feeling that I'll be reading a lot more in college when I go, because I read a couple books while I was living in Tuscaloosa, but it was just very hard for me to read because, like, of the situation that I was in, you know? Anyways, I'm not gonna go too deep into that. Next. I know. The fact that I read The Little Friend before I read this should probably be a crime, honestly. Like, I don't know why I haven't read this book yet. It's so weird because I owned this first. Like, I have had this book literally probably like 2 or 3 years. I think I've literally had this book, if it's 2020, I've definitely had it since 2023, maybe even 2022. So I've had this book for a good 3 years, probably. Have not read it. Now that I know the genius that Donna Tartt is, I think I was so scared of reading it because I got it, and then I look on the inside, the font is little. Oh, no, absolutely not. I'm not reading a book with little font. I don't have the patience. I say that, and then, well, no, honestly, this font is the same size. I'm just a titty baby. Yeah, I literally just don't, I'm scared to read it because the pages are so thin and it's giving like Bible. Whew. So I am so scared personally to read this, but I know that I need to, and I know that I'm gonna love it because, I mean, I've seen like Brittany Broski read it, I've seen other booktubers read it, and me hunched over like Gremlin. I've seen so many people read this and they all rave about it, and so I know I need to read this eventually. I need to find like a more attractive way to hold a book. Like, please. Like, oh, that'd be cute if I did like a little, no. Like, it's not going anywhere, buddy. Okay, anyway. Secret History in the near future also. Last but not least. You guys may not even know about this book because I literally did not either. So let me tell you a story. Basically, I went to Barnes and Noble recently, and if you know me, I love a Barnes and Noble trip. I think Barnes and Noble is truly like one of the most eye-opening places that I have ever been. And I say this because every time I go in, I walk out with like 5 books. Anyways, last time I went, I got these 2. Like I said, halfway through that one. This one I'm so excited to read because I didn't know it existed until I went. whenever I was there, this video was so long. We've hit the 10-minute mark, so I need to hurry it up. Anyways, this is called The Jungle by Upton Sinclair. I probably haven't been saying the names for any of these books. This is Secret History, also by Donna Tartt. This is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. This one was called Unbirthday by Liz Braswell. In this series, there's a bunch of different writers, so that's why this one was written by Jen Kalanita, but they're in the same series. Anyway, The Jungle by Upton Sinclair. I went with my friend Sarah, shout out Sarah, and I realized I did not know that she was into books too, and I was like, oh, like what book should I read? Like, do you have any recommendations? And when I saw this beautiful, y'all, this cover, I am not one of those people that buys a book for its cover, but when I saw this, it became very hard to stick to that narrative that I did not buy books for the cover because this is so gorgeous. So to my surprise, when the book also sounded interesting, I was like, because recently I've been trying to read things that are not very like, well, no, that's not true. I love a story-centric book, hence this is literally the last book I fully finished, and it was about Greek mythology and like fake and fantasy, but I also really like reading about real world, like contemporary fiction, like not, it's like, it could be nonfiction, like contemporary fiction, like a romance book, you know, like this is not a Bildungsroman because that's coming of age, but like this is more romance-ish or like character study. Honestly, this book is not really plot, more so vibes. Like I love that kind of vibe recently. I have never been that person when I was younger. I hated a no plot book. It was so boring, could never finish one. I was always putting books down because they didn't have a plot, and like I would only really read sci-fi fantasy, and then I only read contemporary when we had to for school. This, on the other hand, is amazing. Love it. The Little Friend is also, I don't know, it's like, it's not Ghost Story because it is contemporary and it's Bildungsroman, so it's coming of age, so it's real world stuff, but that was a character study on one person. This is a character study on like 30 million people. This, let me finally segue and wrap it all back. This is a book about, I'm just going to read you the thing. It is the dawn of the 20th century. Two young Lithuanian immigrants, Jurgis and Ona, hold their wedding celebration in Packingtown, the heart of Chicago's meatpacking district. According to custom, departing guests should give money to help pay for the party and start the newlyweds off in life. But many guests walk out leaving nothing. Ona worries about the couple's debts, but Jurgis calms her, saying, I will work harder. Strong and confident, Jurgis begins a job in the meatpacking plant where he bears the 12-hour workdays, the repellent and dangerous labor conditions, and the pitifully low pay. But when his family is cheated in a housing swindle, his father is forced to turn over 1/3 of his pay to the man who hired him. A sprained ankle costs Jurgis his job, the American dream that inspired him veers into nightmare, and the worst is yet to come. Basically, it says that Upton Sinclair wrote this book to draw attention to exploited immigrant workers and usher in a new age of socialism, and that is not something that I would have picked up in the past, but Sarah read this book for school, and I love a book that you have to read for school, like Book Thief, Wrinkle in Time, Animal Farm, Frankenstein. I was a fiend for those books, y'all. Like, I wanted those books so bad. They were so good. I love when schools recommend books that are good. I love it. Okay, so now that I have done that, I'm just gonna kind of show you a few books that I have in my like collection / TBR. Okay, y'all, get ready. So first, we're just gonna do books that I have had like for a while that are kind of like, they're not standalone, but, well, some of them are standalone, but I've had them for a while. I've actually started reading three. I've actually started reading three of these, but I DNF'd them way earlier, like when I was in like 8th grade, and I DNF'd this one just because, like, first of all, the words are huge, and I definitely should have finished this by now. Oh my gosh, I should have finished this by now. When I figure out where I am, hold on. Okay, so I am gonna start by telling you about this book because this is honestly what started my want for like seeing other books sneak peek. It's called Vengeance Road by Aaron Bowman. Now, this book is a Western. I don't care for country slash Western things, as you might have gathered or noticed. But I saw a booktuber called Jesse the Reader read this book when I was in like 5th grade. And ever since I saw him read it, I was like, I have to have this book. I have to read it. So I think I remembered about it like last year or something when I finally got finances and I bought it myself. No, 2 years ago. I bought this 2 years ago. And yeah, because I bought it and then I went to college with it. Yes, that's correct. So I started reading it. I got to page, I'm gonna say 100. I got to page 100 out of like, yeah, out of 318, but I just could not finish it for the life of me because it was like, I don't know, I just didn't care about it really. Like, I do want to read it, I do, but the part that I stopped off, I think I was also at a point in my life where I was not reading and I was trying so hard to be like hot boy summer and, you know, like, not who I am now. So I think that now that I am a different person, I really want to give this another read. I am probably just going to start at where I left off at page 100 because I hate rereading a book if I don't have to. Like, if it's a book that I don't care about rereading, why would I reread this stuff? Like, if I already did not really vibe with it the first time, I probably shouldn't start over, you know? So anyway, that's another one. This one got very popular on BookTube a while ago. It's called The House in the Cerulean Sea, yes, by TJ Klune. And this is about a caretaker. Oh, I didn't even say what this was about. This is a Western about a girl who is pretending to be a guy, kind of like Mulan style, and she's hunting down the man that killed her father. Simple as that. This one, House in the Cerulean Sea, is about this guy who has to go see orphanage affairs for magical children, and he goes to see one of the house caretakers, the guy that is the like manager of all of the houses, or the guy that is the manager of affairs, I guess. His name is Linus. The guy that owns the house, like the house parent for the orphanage kids, his name is Arthur. And supposedly this is an MLM love story. I don't know. I didn't really know about that. I just knew that it was about like magic kids, and I love stories about that kind of thing. So I did try and start reading this like a couple weeks ago. Maybe it was, no, yeah, a couple weeks ago. And I think I didn't even finish a chapter. I think I read literally like 3 pages. And I was like, I don't know, I'm gonna have to put this aside for now. It's definitely a book I want to read. Almost 400. And it has a bunch of different people, like yes, these 6 dangerous magical children are so dangerous that they're likely to bring about the end of days, and one of them is supposedly like the Antichrist or something like that. I don't know. So it's supposedly a feel-good book, but I don't know. It's also giving summer, kind of, right? Like, it's giving summer. I probably need to read it this summer. I've decided this is reading summer, if you guys couldn't catch on by the fact that I'm reading, but I have been reading a lot recently, and I do like that. I like to read. I think that with a lack of friends, that's so sad. With a lack of friends comes a lot of free time, and that free time is taken up by reading. So, yeah, welcome to one of my great hobbies. We're now at 20 minutes. I'm so sorry I'm about to wrap this up. Not really, I still have a lot to talk about. Next is Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. Oh my gosh, I want to read this so bad. Like, it's not even funny how bad I want to read this. The only issue is this font is the smallest font I have ever read, ever. 415 pages. Look, like, that font is so small. Who is reading that? I am gonna get bored. But it is about a woman vanishing, supposedly. And I'm sure all of you know about the plot twist, but I have somehow evaded the plot of this book. All I know is that she disappears. That's all I know. So really excited to read this one day. This is giving fall to me, so perhaps I'll take this with me to Troy, but if I'm there, who knows if I'll read yet. I'm not there, I don't know. So next is a book that was revered a lot in BookTube in, I want to say like 2018, because that's when I got it, because I remember bringing it to 8th grade one day. I started reading it. I think I read literally like a chapter in it, and I didn't finish it. I DNF'd it because I was so bored, because also I was not used to contemporary, which this is giving like kind of science fiction. I don't know. I haven't read it. I also don't remember really anything about it, but I do want to read this because I saw it in the back of my closet and I was like, I need to read this. Like, it just sounds, it's about these 10-foot, yes, basically this girl stumbles on this giant sculpture. I'm pretty sure there's like millions of them that pop up around the world, and everyone's like, what are they, what are they doing? It's a mystery, and it's the absolutely remarkable thing by Hank Green. So, book that I'm somewhat excited to read. I feel like it's been enough time that ooh, pretty. I feel like it's been enough time that I would probably enjoy it now as a matured taste person. I sound so pretentious. Anyway, next is a book by my baby's father. I'm just kidding. This person wrote another book that I really, really adore, The Book Thief. If you know him, Markus Zusak. He actually published another book. I believe these are his only 2 novels, and I've read one of them, so I really want to read this one. It's called Bridge of Clay. This book I got probably in literally think I bought this book after I finished Bridge of Clay, because it came out like the year, I think, after I read, or the year after I read The Book Thief, I bought Bridge of Clay, because I got this one immediately after I found out it was going to come out, because I still have it in hardback, and I hate hardbacks. If you know anything about me, love a paperback. If I bought any of these books, it's because I bought them probably when they first came out, and I had to get them in hardback. Otherwise, I would not. I hate a hardback. That's so annoying to me, y'all. Nothing will ever piss me off more. Anyway, this book is about brothers. Pause. Okay, so after looking at it, because I low-key had not looked at the synopsis in years, actually, I remembered that this is about 5 brothers who kind of just raised themselves because their dad walked out on them, and then suddenly their dad walks back in. None of this is a spoiler. This is all in the synopsis. And I think the reason I never got around to it is just because it looks pretty big, and like, when I look in here, the pages are thick, but it also is 530 pages long. 534 pages. So, and I remember that The Book Thief it was good and it was sad, but it also was very metaphorical, I think. And I think that it wasn't very, obviously it was plot heavy, but I also think that it was very descriptive, and I got very bored easily with The Book Thief, but it was a really, really, really good book. I don't even know where it is, but I'm pretty sure I still own that book. I hope I do. I hope I wouldn't get rid of The Book Thief. If I did, I'm sorry. Now, on to the final section of this video. I'm going to be talking about a few books that have sequels that I want to read. So first, we have, I need to read this one, ASAP. After I read all the books over here, and maybe, Six of Crows or something, I really want to get into this. So, I've read the first two. I read 2 of them last year. I read one of them in March, one of them in, I want to say July. No, wrong. I read one of them in March of last year, and then one of them in August, because that's when the Summer Olympics were going on. Yes, correct. So I read both of those last year, have not picked this one up, and I remember the main girl and her shtick, but the book is As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson. Yes, Holly Jackson. And it's basically about this girl named Pip. I'm going to give you a synopsis for both of these, I'm going to give you kind of a synopsis of the first book. I'm not going to spoil anything about the sequels. But this book series is about a girl named Pip who is a mystery solver, and basically she gets herself into a lot of danger. So if you like that, stick around. Would you like any beverages or condiments? Would you like any sauces or beverages? Sorry, that guy on TikTok reminded me of him. Sorry. Anyway, it's about this girl named Pip, and the first book is about her trying to solve the mystery of this girl's death/disappearance, and all signs pointed to this other guy, but she believes him to be innocent, so she teams up with his brother. Pretty sure that's in the synopsis. She teams up with his brother, and they end up solving the mystery together. The second book follows, again, her stories, and this one is going to finish it, I believe. So, should be good. Conference of Birds. Girl, everybody say boo. Everybody say boo. Everybody throw a tomato. Come on, I have my goggles on. Throw a tomato, please. I am so honestly mad at myself that I haven't finished this, because this book series ended in 2019, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure this book series ended in 2019. I want to say the final one, maybe the final one was published in 2021, but even so, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children is one of my favorite books ever. Jessie the Reader got me introduced to it. The minute that I ever read the first Miss Peregrine's book, I was hooked. The story, the concept, y'all, is so good. If you don't know, basically, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children is this book series about this boy named Jacob who goes on a vacation, I believe, with his family, and on this vacation, he finds this magical home full of people who have abilities. And if any of that sounds interesting to you, it's a little bit thriller, it's a little bit sci-fi, it's a little bit fantasy, it's a little bit time travel. Ooh. The whole series is so good. I've read 4 out of the 6 books now, and I should have read the 4th one so much sooner. I finished the original trilogy because the writer, Ransom Riggs, wrote the original trilogy and then kind of gave up because he just didn't think that the story had anywhere else to go. But then I guess he got so much pushback and people wanted more and more and more. So he wrote a second trilogy. This is the second book in the second trilogy, so fifth book overall, because it is technically just a continuation of the same series. We're at 30 minutes. I gotta wrap this up. So I really need to read this next. This is just a continuation of all of the adventures of Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children and all of the characters that are in that. So definitely, if you don't take any other advice, go read Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. Definitely go read the first book in this series. It's called A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. You'll be hooked. It's such an easy, light, quick read. Anything else I want to shout out? Go pick up Cleopatra and Frankenstein today, and The Little Friend. Pick up all of these books right now. But yeah, the next video I do is probably going to be a review on Cleopatra and Frankenstein. I really do love book videos, so hopefully I am not the quickest reader. I will admit, like, I really lately, especially with the schedule that I've been, I am taking a summer class and I do have a job, so a part-time job, not a full-time job. Say, duh, we know. Since I have all that stuff going on, I only really get to read in the quick little moments of free time that I have, but I think that that's so beautiful that I do still get to read and take a passion that I've enjoyed since I was a little kid. Like, I'm saying I literally started full-on reading probably in the second grade. Like, in the second grade, I had a 12th grade reading level, and I knew that I was going to be tapped into books forever. Like, I knew for the rest of my life that I would like reading. I remember a book that I have a core memory with is Ender's Game. This is kind of the introductory to my channel. This is going to be all over the place, but I'm also not really trying with this thing. I'm just kind of trying to get something up to make myself get in the habit, because I really do want to continue this. But, and also maybe if I look back on this, I can be like, wow, Grayson, you really read none of those books and you bought 8 new books and read those instead. But my love for reading started, my family used to read to me all the time. My mom loved to read to me. I mean, she's been reading to me since I was probably 2 or 3. I learned how to read when I was 4, I'm pretty sure, at my like preschool class. And then going into kindergarten, I did know how to read. By 1st and 2nd grade, I could read full sentences and obviously books. And then by 3rd grade, I had surpassed a college reading level. I have loved reading since I was a kid. It is my passion. I kind of got into a dip a little bit where I lost myself during school, during my, like, teenage years. I'm turning 20 in 3 days. Anyway, happy early birthday to me, woo! During my early teenage years, I kind of lost reading, just because I think I wanted to fit in, and reading wasn't always cool, but I love it. Bottom line, I think rediscovering my love for reading has made me feel so at home with myself and with who I am. And I think that anybody can find anything to read. Like, you don't have to be a reader to enjoy reading. You can find a book, any book. It's so worth it. I think that it has expanded my mind. It has allowed me to be calm and find moments of quiet throughout my day. And I could not recommend reading more. So thank you so much for tuning into my first ever video as the Lulu Trojan. And yeah, this was basically like a get to know me. My name is Grayson. I am going to be trying BookTube. So yeah, and I might private this video 30 years from now. Who knows? Maybe I'll be a millionaire. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll get my degree that I'm going for right now and never look back. And maybe I'll be so successful off of that. But I want to keep this as a personal thing for me. If it blows up, if it doesn't, I'm going to keep this. I really like the idea of having something to help me with what I've been reading. So yeah, my name is Grayson. I'm currently reading Cleopatra and Frankenstein, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.